Hello, my dear ones. Today we will be doing a very interesting topic which is called as postulates and theorems. Okay, postulates. Postulates means these are self-evident geometrical statements. Some facts. No, some facts. The moment I tell you, it is proved correct. Such statements are called as postulates. You need no further explanation or proof to prove these facts. So some geometrical statements which are facts are called as postulates. And who gave us these postulates in a separate book? We have Euclidean geometry. So this was given by Euclid. So first we will be dealing with some Euclid's postulates. And after understanding Euclid's postulates, we will be talking about theorems. What are theorems? Theorems are certain statements again made in geometry which needs arguments to be proved. Now you need some geometrical facts to prove these theorems. Whereas postulates are facts which need no further proof. Postulates are facts which need no further proof. So which all are the postulates given by Euclid? Let us learn one by one. Give the heading as Euclid's postulates. As we explain, we will draw proper figures. Okay, so let's get started. So this is about Euclid's postulates. Euclid's postulates. What was the first fact that Euclid told us? Euclid said that if you have a point, you can draw innumerable lines through this given point. We have discussed this before also once. Euclid said that if you have a point, you can draw n number of lines, infinite lines through this point. Okay, so you will write that statement. Infinite lines can be drawn through a given point. Okay, you have to write it in your book. And then beside, show this figure. So let us name this point as O and show innumerable lines. Understood the first postulate? Now we'll talk about the second postulate. The second postulate states that, we are talking about the second postulate. If you have 2 points, if you have any 2 points, then you can draw one and only one line passing through those 2 points. In other way, if I have 2 points, let us name it as X and Y. If you have 2 points, then you can draw only one and only one line. It should pass through both the points. If you want a line which passes through both the points, you can draw only one line. Only one line is possible to be drawn through 2 given points. This is the second postulate. Now correct. This doesn't need any further explanation. Now it is facts. Such statements are called as postulates. You should be able to say the meaning of what is meant by postulate and what is theorem. Okay. Till now I did not discuss anything about theorem. We are discussing about postulate. The third postulate states that if you want to draw a circle of given radius, suppose I want to draw a circle of radius 3 cm, or you want to draw a circle of radius 5 cm. You will draw in your book, I will draw in my board. I can take any point as center, you can take any point as center. Here I took point O as center, you may take point X as center. So to draw a circle of given radius, we can select any point as the center. Point can be considered as center and we can draw a circle. Remember, we draw circle using a compass. Okay, don't call it as a rounder, compass. So we can draw, a circle can be drawn of given radius by selecting any point as center. Okay, that is the third postulate. Now we will go on to the fourth postulate. Fourth postulate is very easy. Perpendicular sign, it means 90 degree. Here also you have the perpendicular sign. This also means 90 degree. Don't look at the length of the rays. I will say that this angle O is congruent to this angle M. all right angles are congruent to each other. So this right angle congruent to this right angle. These all are facts. No, you don't need me to explain all this. Okay, I am just putting one postulate after the other. So if somebody asks you, give any three postulates stated by Euclid, you have to give it. To understand the fifth postulate, you need little bit of thinking. Okay, mature thinking. We will make it simple. Just to consider these two figures. Okay, so I have two lines, and I have a transversal. Transversal is a line which intersects given two lines. No, it can be two or three lines. So this is our transversal. I have two lines. Now in your 8th standard you have learnt about interior angles. Okay, interior angles lie at the same side of the given lines. Okay, if you have these two lines and interior angles make C shape. Now you remember like that we had discussed about interior angle. They make C shape. Now this way, C shape they make. So here in this figure you can see that the interior angles are this angle. So if this, that, instead of saying, I'll name it A, O, B, and this is C, this is D, and this is E, this is G, and this is H. So which are the interior angles here? Angle EOB, and angle, this is interior, and the other interior angle is HBO or OBH. Both are same. So these two are the interior angles. If in case I add the interior angles and I am getting a number which is less than 180 degree, I am getting it less than 180 degree, that means less than 180 degree. This means that the two lines are going to intersect with each other. Less than 180 degree means it is the sum of two right angles. One right angle is 90. Sum of two right angles means 90 plus 90, 180. Yeah, so this way it is given in your textbook. So I am explaining this way. Suppose you have the sum of interior angles to be less than 180. If these two angles are less than 180, then obviously it is sure that these two lines are going to intersect. The lines which intersect are called as intersecting lines. The lines that do not intersect each other, are called as parallel lines. Okay. So what did I say? Euclid gave the fifth postulate as, suppose you have two interior angles and the sum of two interior angle is less than the sum of two right angle, that is 180 degree, then the two lines are going to intersect each other. Now let me take another scene. Let me consider another figure. Let us consider these two lines. Okay. And this is our transversal. Same names I'll give. Here D, O, E. Here we have A. Here we have B, C, G and H. Now here the interior angles are, same pair of interior angles I'll take. Now here this is making C, no? So this is our interior angle. This one and this one. The names are EOB, angle EOB plus angle OBH or HBO, OBH. Both, if I am getting it equal to 180 degree, if it is equal to 180 degree, will these two lines intersect? No, they will not intersect. They will be parallel to each other. If they are not intersecting, then they are parallel to each other. If it is less than 180, then they are going to intersect with each other. Understood the fifth postulate? If the sum of interior angle is less than sum of two right angle, then the two lines are going to intersect each other. They are intersecting. If the sum of two interior angles is equal to sum of two right angle, that you don't be confused. Sum of two right angle means it is 180. 90 plus 90. So 180. If the sum of interior angle is 180, then those two lines are parallel to each other. They are not intersecting. Understood the fifth postulate? So these are the 5 postulates that was given by Euclid. You have to copy the 5 statements. This statement you draw this figure. Okay, this figure you draw and write down the statement. self-evident geometrical statement. It needs no evidence, no proof. Such statements are called as postulates. But there are few statements which are called as theorems. Okay, the main part of geometry, theorems. What are theorems? Theorems are the statement which can be proved logically. You have to apply what you have learnt in your previous class, the properties that you have learned. Using that, we will prove the statement by using logically. You can't say anything. It should be geometrically logical statements. So the statements which can be proved logically are called as theorems. The statements which can be proved logically are called as theorems, which need no proof. Self-evident statements, geometrical statements are called as postulates. 5 postulates we saw. Now we will talk about theorems. Understood? Now let us talk about we will start with the first theorem in this geometry. Take name of God and start. Let us learn the first theorem. Write down the statement. Be with your book. If you don't have your scale and pencil, pause it and be ready with your scale and pencil. Done? Okay. So the first theorem statement is like this. The opposite angles formed by, write down, the opposite angles formed by two intersecting lines are congruent. Now with the help of this statement, we are going to learn two parts of a theorem. That is, this statement consists of one given part and one part which we have to prove. Something is given, some information is given in the statement and something we want to prove. The opposite angles formed by two intersecting lines are congruent. So, if you read once, you will not understand much because this is the beginning. Again you read. The opposite angles formed by two intersecting lines are congruent. So, we have to prove that the opposite angles are congruent. What is given is the opposite angles are formed by two intersecting lines. There are two intersecting lines. We have two intersecting lines. Two lines are intersecting. Let it intersect at point O. Two lines are intersecting. Let it intersect at point O. Here, as you can see, there are opposite angles. Opposite angles means one angle in one direction, other in its opposite direction. So we have these two are opposite angles. Same way these two are opposite angles. So we have to prove that these opposite angles are congruent. What is given? Two lines are intersecting. That is given. So in this theorem statement, it has two parts. One is given part and one is to prove part. Down the given part and then we will write down the to prove part. What we have to prove. So write given. Here we will give names for the figures. Just take this line as line AB and this line we will take it as line XY. So here given we will write line AB and line XY intersect, given part is this much, no, intersect at point O. Line AB and line XY, these two lines intersect at point O. This much is given part. The remaining part, that the opposite angles are congruent, that we have to prove. So, next statement you will write. To prove, here we have two pairs of opposite angles. So, both the names we will write. To prove opposite angle. One opposite angle will take this angle and this angle. Okay, the opposite. That is angle AOY. We have to prove that angle AOY is congruent to angle, its opposite angle will be BOX. Okay, calmly see the opposite angles, write the name correctly, BOX. Next pair of opposite angles, I will give double marking. These two, no? Opposite angles, I don't have space here. So, I will write here, you write below only. So, the other pair of opposite angle name is AOX and its opposite angle is BOY or YOB. AOX, Next pair we want to prove that AOX is congruent to its opposite angle is YOB or BOY. I'll write YOB. So once again I wrote it neatly. Okay. So to prove was opposite angle first angle is AOY congruent to AOY's opposite is BOX. Angle BOX. Another pair of opposite angles are these two. So that is AOX congruent to angle YOB. AOX congruent to YOB. These two opposite pair of angles we have to prove congruent. Let's start with the proof. Okay, proof. Now to prove the theorem we will use logical statement now. Things that you have learnt earlier. In your earlier class, you have learnt about certain pairs of angles as the angles which looks like this. Remember, these two adjacent angles are called as linear pair angles. It can come this way, it can come this way, it can come this way. No? First angle is this part and the second angle is this part. We have learnt that the sum of linear pair angles will be 180 degrees. Same property we are going to use here. You can see if I hide this part, you can see the linear pair. Okay, so that property we are going to use. So we will use the linear pair angles property here. First linear pair. Now this part if I hide, I will redraw it here. You can see the linear pair is this way. So here you have A, here you have O, here you have Y and here you have B. So angle AOY plus angle YOB or BOY. Anyway you can name. Okay. So angle, I'll write down the first statement, logical proof that I am using is angle AOY plus angle YOB equal to 180 degree. Now you have to write the reason. What reason is this? They are linear pair angles. They form linear pair. So linear pair angles or only linear pair you can write. So these two are linear pair angles. I'll just mark it this way. Okay? No. So these two are linear pair angles. Now after you select one pair of linear pair, we will select another pair of linear pair. Now this part I'll just rub it off. I can see one more pair of linear. I can see one more pair of linear angles. That is linear pair angles. That is, if I draw this way, first I had taken these two angles. Now I will take these two angles. See to it that one angle should come common. For example, first pair I took AOY and YOB. Second pair I will take YOB and BOX. So in both the pairs, this angle BOY is coming common. One angle should come same in both the pairs. Okay. So first I took AOY and YOB. Second I will take YOB and BOX. YOB and BOX. These two are also linear pair angles. If you add these two, again you will get 180 degree. So that I will give point number 2 and I will write down angle YOB plus angle BOX equal to 180 degree. Same reason. Linear pair angles or just linear pair. Now this I have given 1 and this one I have given 2. From 1 and 2 you can see that the RHS is both same. RHS of first statement and RHS of second point both are same, 180 to 180. No? 180, 180. So I'll write from 1 and 2, from first and second point. If the RHS are same, if the right hand side is same, then the left hand side will also be equal. If RHS is equal, then the left hand side will also be equal. This is the left hand side of first part. This is the left hand side of second part. These both will also be equal. So last statement I will write. Therefore, angle AOY plus angle YOB equal to the next LHS. YOB plus BOX. No? From 1 and 2. Here if you see YOB is getting repeated. So YOB here and YOB here will get cancelled. Correct or not? Plus YOB, if it goes to opposite side, it will become minus YOB. So YOB and minus YOB will get cancelled, So you can cancel it here itself. Is it fine? So what are you getting at the end now? Therefore, angle, what is remaining now? Angle AOY congruent to angle BOX. Just check what you wanted congruent, what you wanted to prove. AOY congruent to BOX. You got it? Okay, we needed to prove this. We wanted to prove this, that the opposite angles are congruent. We got the opposite angles congruent by using logical proof, evidence. So, finally, we got this proof. Highlight it. Then write, after this statement you will write, similarly, we can prove that AOX is congruent to angle YOB. If you proved one pair of angles congruent, opposite angles congruent, then similarly these two will also be congruent to each other. If you take another pair, here I started with these two, then I took these two. You can also start with this two angle and then take these two angles, so you will get this one. So no need to write that again. Same steps, only name of the angles will change. No need to write that again. So after this step you will write similarly we can prove that next pair AOX is congruent to YOB. Okay, and last you will write, once you've got the proof, you will write hence proved, PROVED, not double OVED. Many students do this spelling mistake. Hence proved, PROVED. Hope you understood. Practice the theorem. Make a note of it in your book. Till we meet for the next time. Thank you, students.